What's up, guys? Gotta go to work this morning. Every year, the agency I work for raffles off a Harley during the summer for like fundraisers, fundraising purposes. There's a lot of Saturdays. I don't work many weekends, but during the summer, there's a lot of Saturdays where I come and set it up and then come back and tear it down. So today is one of those days. Hey, if you want to win a bike, it is nasty and hot and humid. Oh, it is like full on summer and I don't wanna. That's my two chores for the day. Got the lawn mowed, got the bike set up. I really just want to go chill in the air conditioning, but you know what? It's been a really long time since I got out on a bike ride. So despite it being 100 and zillion miserable degrees with 300% humidity, I think I'm gonna go for a bike ride. You and I, we're always on the edge. We fight and make love at the same time. Would you break up just because I told you what I did last night? Ooh, buddy. Are you ever exercising and you're kind of like scared to stop? Like, oh man, if I stop, I don't know if I'll be able to get back going again. Good day though, good ride. You may notice I bought some shorty shorts. Try to get some color in these thighs. I was just riding through, I was thinking, I'm gonna have to get Kyle, and we're gonna have to come down here for one of his runs. There's all kinds of stuff. There's even like a bar for doing like pull-ups and all kinds of benches and stuff we could stop at, do crazy stuff. Man, I'll probably die though. Always on the edge. We fight and make love at the same time. Would you break up just because I told you what I did last night? What's up, guys? I think I have had my absolute fill of time outside for the day. There's an NXT pay-per-view tonight, and NXT is pretty much my favorite WWE programming right now. However, I'm way behind. I've not watched NXT in probably a month at least. So I think tonight, I think the rest of my day is going to be me just binge watching like a month's worth of NXT, then watching TakeOver. I think I'm gonna make some like keto friendly snacks, so I'll show you guys that. Ooh, man, I think that sounds great. I'm kind of excited actually, but first, I had a couple experiments that didn't quite work out. I tried to make some buffalo cauliflower. I wanted a little more well done than the first time I tried it, but I just burn it. I made some fathead chips that I don't think they got a little overcooked and just kind of crumbled, but I'm going to eat them anyway. But here is the main event, which is the garlic parmesan wings I grilled. It required me going back outside into the heat to grill, but I let that one slide. Oh, and then I also got some like some salami and pepperoni rolls with like some cream cheese and pepperoncinis in them. Yeah. So, time to go watch the show. What's up, guys? Full disclosure, it is tomorrow morning. After NXT TakeOver got over, I was kind of beat, so I cleaned up, I crashed out. I also felt like I needed to let the show sink in a little more, because while I had an overall good feeling about the show, I had individually felt disappointed in every match. I'm just going to go like a quick rundown, kind of give my feedback, my impressions of the show. I will not spoil any of the winners, losers. I'm just going to give my overall impression of each match and kind of the show as a whole. So this is the light spoiler warning. I may talk about stuff that happened in the match or how the match happened, but I will not talk about who won or lost. So if you haven't checked it out, if you haven't checked out the show, I do recommend going and checking it out. Like I said, I really enjoyed watching the show. It opened with a tag match. Larkin Olney and Danny Burch, I think those are their names, versus the Undisputed Era for the Tag Team Championship. I was really surprised. Michael Cole was not on this card. They made such a big deal about establishing the North American Championship, and it's just become like part of Adam Cole's outfit. I haven't seen him defend it. They haven't talked about challengers to it. I really don't know what the point of that belt was, and he doesn't defend it on this show, so that's beside the point. Tag title match, actually Larkin Olney and Danny Burch against Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, with Adam Cole on the side. He gets kicked out towards the end. The match was good. I thought the match was good. I thought it took a little while to get going. I'm just not, and I'm not loving the Undisputed Era. Nothing against any of those guys. I like all those guys. I like Adam Cole. I like Roderick Strong, and they're all good wrestlers. But, man, they got a lot to live up to, and I don't feel like they're living up to that. Sanity and the Authors of Pain and the Revival. Before that, like the Wyatts and the Shield came from NXT. I know the Shield wasn't actually like in NXT, but those guys all came through NXT. So there's a lot of, I feel like I feel like the Undisputed Era just is not quite living up to what's come before them. When it comes right down to it, they're just kind of being snotty. Like all we ever do is see them being snotty backstage, and they do some run-ins and they do some. It's all just so standard stuff. They haven't really done anything to set them apart the way some of the other teams have, I really feel like. Second match was Ricochet and the Velveteen Dream. This was a match. So if you are into Ricochet and the way he does his thing, you will really like this match, I think. However, so I like Ricochet. I think he's a good. I think Ricochet is really good. I think he's got a huge future coming ahead of him. He's got everything. He's got the athleticism. He's got the look. Mike's skills are adequate enough for the rest to carry him through, I think. And I'm actually a huge fan of the Velveteen Dream. I have been a huge fan of the Velveteen Dream since his match with Aleister Black. This match was good. I can't complain about the match. I liked the match. I enjoyed watching it. However, I just kept waiting for something that didn't come. I kept waiting for it to go from being a really good match to a really great match. And I don't think it ever got there. You know, it was not an instant classic. And that's partially, you know, I don't want to hate on the guys for not delivering an instant classic. I know what it's like when you're out there trying to have a match and deliver, you know, an instant classic or deliver a great match or whatever. Things just don't always come together like you want them to. One of the things I like about the Velveteen Dream is he has gotten so good at bringing his character into the match, and I feel like he let that slip in order to try and keep up with Ricochet. And I don't know if he felt like he needed to keep up with Ricochet or felt like he needed to showcase Ricochet, but I did feel like he kind of gave up his own sort of style and the way he does things, and let Ricochet kind of have the match. And I think that's why it didn't achieve greatness. I think, you know, a great match is when two wrestlers really come together and they both, you know, just mesh and they really put their stamp on a given match. And I don't feel like that happened in this one. You know, again, it just ended up being kind of, you know, just Ricochet's match, which was a good match. It was a good match. Watch the match. Then we had Shayna Baszler and Nikki Cross. I was kind of excited for this match. I think Shayna Baszler is one of the best things going in the WWE right now. I think she has just an unimaginably bright future, but on top of that, she is being handled so well. I can't overstate. If you want lessons on how to get over, watch what Shayna Baszler is doing. The way she works her matches, the way she carries herself, the way she cuts her interviews, deals backstage, all that stuff. Nikki Cross also is a great wrestler, brings an attitude, an intensity, just a little that a lot of women wrestlers don't quite bring. So I was excited for this match. And it was good. It was a good match. Again, man, you know, did it deliver something special? I don't know that it did. Shayna and Nikki threw down, and it was a side of Shayna that we hadn't really gotten to see before because she was trying to figure Nikki out instead of just bulldozing straight ahead. There was a lot of story to this match, and I really enjoyed that. My main criticism would be the end of the match was kind of uneventful, and sometimes that's okay. Like sometimes it's okay for the end of a match to be a letdown, but when it's uneventful, there's this real fine line between a letdown and like a boring ending, you know, basically a boring go home. So finding that straight line there, that can be tough. So respect to the ladies and what they did. I thought I did like this match. Following that was Lars Sullivan and Aleister Black. These guys, I really liked the way they worked this match. I really liked this match. I thought these guys kind of went for it. Again, it was a little bit different, seeing something different from Aleister Black, where he was not sort of the aggressor, not kind of in control of the match. So to see him trying to fight Lars Sullivan, who is this just beast, this human cannonball coming at him nonstop, it was a fun match to watch, and I think they worked it very well. The two competitors, I don't think had the best chemistry. I felt like there was a lot of things that looked off and kind of sloppy, which isn't always the worst thing in a wrestling match, but I thought it was noticeable. It went just past being like, oh, this is a fight, to these guys aren't quite on the same page. And maybe as a wrestler, I'm one of the few that see something like that. You know, I don't know. The match was good though. I liked the way they worked the go home. I think both guys came out ahead at the end of the match. You know, regardless of whether it was, you know, the sloppiness and whatever. Little stuff like this, little stuff like that doesn't ruin a match. And when I mention it here, it's because it's something I noticed, not necessarily because it's something that I think took away from the match. So I really think both guys did very well, and I think both guys came out better for having been a part of this match, which ultimately is really the best thing you can hope for to come out of a match. So then the main event was the street fight with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. And gosh, I just cannot express how impressed I am with these guys. For these guys, you know, to really, the way these guys have become the standout top tier story and stars of NXT, and just, man, these guys are true professionals who are really showing everybody in the company, I think, how it's done. I think the storyline has been completely on point. Now, I could criticize the storyline because both guys spend a lot of time absent from the show. So, but I think that's a good thing, man. I think that's something, you know, it's tough because when you've got Raw and SmackDown and you know, these huge shows, flagship shows, and Raw especially with 3 hours you got to fill a week, you know, you can't have some of your main stars, Brock Lesnar notwithstanding, you can't have some of your main stars and your main storylines like sitting out week to week to week, because you need stuff to fill that, the TV show, you need stuff to fill that time slot. But with the Gargano-Ciampa storyline, it has just been so well constructed and so continuous and cohesive, and both guys are just completely sold out, and you can see that in the fans. You can see the way the fans react to these guys. They are fully behind Johnny Gargano. They are fully against Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, there was "fuck you Ciampa" chants, and you know, people hate Ciampa, and man, if you think about it, you know, how often these days do you find where nobody even really has a dual following? You know, you might have one guy who's a little stronger, but even, you know, a lot of the bad guys today have their followings that'll cheer for them. So we get the, you know, let's go Gargano, let's go Ciampa chants, dueling chants, stuff like that. There is nothing like that with these guys, and I think it is a testament to how well these guys have worked, how sold out these guys are on their program, man, on their program, on their characters. They deliver on a level that I don't feel anybody else in the WWE is delivering on as an entire unit, from character, heel, face, storyline, Candice, you know, Gargano's wife getting involved. The whole thing is just, it's working, and it's what wrestling should be, and it's money, and it is built so well to this Chicago street fight. Was I blown away by the match? I was not blown away by the match, and I will own a little bit that might be me. I'm not super into like street fights, hardcore matches, that kind of thing. If you are into that kind of thing, I think this is the kind of match you haven't seen in a while. It was a really good match. They fought all through the crowd more than once, came back to the ring, used all the toys around the ring, you know, crutches, trash cans, all this stuff. Like, if you're into street fights, if you're into street fights and hardcore matches, this is definitely going to scratch that itch. I mean, I was definitely hooked by this match, waiting to see what happened, waiting to see how they got to the end, and then when they get to the end, it just starts to kind of taper off and taper off and taper off, and then it just keeps going, and it becomes this stretched out affair where I'm waiting and I can kind of see what's coming next at every step, and and then it just ends. And I would say that when it ends, I think they were trying to end it in such a way that the storyline can continue. I think we've got at least one more match coming from these guys, and the end of the match facilitated that. So I guess when I look at it in terms of like continuing the story, if it continues the story, great. If they do something where that was it, if that was the payoff, it's really going to fail in my eyes as a payoff to that storyline. But assuming that they are going to continue the storyline, I guess it accomplished that. So, NXT TakeOver Chicago 2, good show, a really good show. I really feel, you know, there was the right amount of matches, and the matches all had enough time and felt like they were really like they mattered. You know, each match was given its own kind of build up, its own importance. Each match was given its own importance. They didn't have to rush through anything. Nothing was cut down to 4 minutes. Every match was given its time and allowed to deliver. It was a good wrestling show. So, I highly recommend going to check it out. There were now again, you know, I've kind of mentioned, you know, I criticized some of the matches for not being like instant classics. I wasn't criticizing them for not being instant classics, but, you know, it affects the overall feel of the show. Did I feel like I saw anything that I will be talking about next takeover? No, I didn't. Let me give you an example. Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream at TakeOver War Games. That match, I told people they needed to go watch. You know, when the next time I was with Spencer, I was like, hey, Spence, you need to go check out this match. I told anybody, you know, I made Scotty Cash go watch that match because the match was just that good. That having matches like that, having a match like that on any given show adds to the whole show, leaves you coming away feeling like you saw something special instead of just having seen a really good show. So I don't mean it as like a criticism. It's just a thing. It's just a thing that I notice, a thing that I keep in mind, because I feel like the WWE NXT is working with a caliber of performer where there should be one of those matches on every card. I believe that. You know, there is no excuse. There's no reason that there shouldn't be one of those matches, a match that you're like, you have to check out you have to check out NXT Chicago to see X match. And I really didn't feel like the show had one of those. Now, it was a great show. I think everybody should go watch the show if you're a wrestling fan. I think it was a clinic on what a wrestling show should look like, which is something that the WWE doesn't do very often. They put on sports entertainment events, and this was a wrestling show. So, I highly recommend it. That's going to do it for me tonight, guys. Tonight, last night, this morning. That's going to do it for me. Go check out the show. If you watch the show, comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you disagree with my assessments. I'm always open to my own criticism and to defend my points of view. I'm also always open to hear somebody else's point of view. That's the great thing about this. That's the great thing about this forum. We can all share and all get everybody's point of views, and I feel like that's important for a community and a society. I will see you guys soon. Until then, don't forget to make a mess, keep your room clean, and always tell the truth.